We're here at Darlington. We're only a few races left before the chase. It's the Southern 300 Throwback race for the Target Series. On the pole, the 74 William Bullen's going to need a great result to get his chase chances back alive. Matt Hamill in the 8-2 is outside. Then in third, you have Steve Larker, Joey Trickle in fourth, and William Seaman rounds up the top 5. Then 6th, you have Jake Galloway. 7th, Diego Yepez, Stephen Baker in 8th, Luke Rainey 9th, and Justin Knight rounds up the top 10. The rest of the field is Johnny Gardner with Trey Rainey. Then there's Clayton Thomas and Colton Yo, along with Danny Lloyd and Adam McDowell, and Marshall Burrow and Greg Lee. Then there's Charles Robert and Isaac Nichols, Max Anderson and Riley Spraley-Tude. Then Jonathan Wong and Lawrence Palapon second in points. Then Michael Canto and Alexander Rowe, Michael Sanders and Jonathan Buford. Then Cole Luigi and Landon Lyons, Sebastian Kukulon and Bill Seaman. And there's Eli Bright and Jennifer Buford, Jeff Bright and Jake Jefferson. TJ Hanley and Andrew Miller, your points leader, only has it by 7 points though. Gustavo Rocha and Alex Stewart, and in the final row, Anthony Lehman in the 3, and the 33 Bowers to his outside. There's your starting lineup for the Southern 300 here at Darlington. Let's get going with our starting command.
Gentlemen, start your engine!
All right, take a nice big deep breath, buddy. Give your seatbelt a tug. Double check your steering wheel. Sit back, relax, get a nice pace, nice rhythm, and let's go out there and have a good day, all right, bud?
As the field rolls off the starting grid here for the Southern 300 at Darlington. This is a tricky track for many drivers. It's an egg-shaped track, which means it's very narrow, very tight racing here at Darlington, mostly single groove, but we saw last season it's never over until the checkered flag waves. You could dominate the whole race, lose it by hitting the wall or getting up high. 30 laps here at Darlington, so it's a long one. Throwback for these Target Series cars. Bullen, Hamill on the front row. Let's see how they get going. Off of 4 to the restart zone they come. And we are racing at Darlington. Bullen with a great jump leads lap 1, allowed Matt Hamill to get down in line in second. Justin Knight on the wall in the 9 car drop back. As 4 seconds, Steve Larker moves underneath Matt Hamill looking for a spot inside the top 2. And great run there for the 51 down the backstretch at a track where passing is very difficult. He's shown that it could be easy here. Gets the inside the 8 and has a great run as they come off turn number 4. Steve Larker moves to second down the front stretch. Great move there by the 51, and here comes William Seaman trying to fill the hole down low so that Matt Hamill can't get down the 3rd position. Seaman looking for a top 3. Here comes Luke Rainey looking for 5th on Yepez. The 22 moves to the inside, gets by easily. Luke Rainey to the top 5. He's on the edge of making the chase, so this could be big for him and the 22 team. Gardner to 6th. Yepez could fall outside the top 10 if he stays up top. 4 cars break away, single file, led by Bullen in the 74. Steve Larker right there in the 51. Matt Hamill looking to take second back. He looks to the inside for 4. Yepez still dropping back. Some others, I think that's the 23 on the outside dropping back. Very hard to tell who these drivers are with their throwback paint schemes. It's very hard. Now turn number 2 down the backstretch of their race. See right there, a few cars break away. It's about 6 cars that break away from 7th on back, led by the number 74 Bullen. Steve Larker's right there, and that 51 looks to be pretty fast here. And I would not be surprised if I see him go around him at some point during this race. Only 4 laps down though, so still tons of time left, and you have to be conserving your tires. Tires could get eaten up here, and Larker's running some of his fast laps of the race, and they are just a little bit faster than Bullen's at this point in the race. Looking low again, can't get it done as they come down the backstretch. Early update on points leaders and drivers up there in points. Andrew Miller's not having a great day. He's right now 41st, but luckily for him, right behind him is second in points Lawrence Palapon, who's 42nd. So those two having difficult days running at the top of the points list. They're currently back in the 2 last positions on the racetrack. It's tough for them. Larker blocks off Hamill again, does it nicely. And now race off of turn number 2 and down the back. Hamill pulls low again, gets back up in line, didn't have the run. And Seaman's up there in points as well. He's right now currently 4th. He lost a lot of ground after what happened at Mosport, but here he is now running inside the top 5. He could step in that top 5, definitely help him out in points. 6 laps down. We're on lap 7. Still Bullen leading from the pole. Steve Larker charging hard. trying to get underneath that 74 to make a move. Couldn't get done again. Got tight. Got back up in line. Gardner in 6th kind of just waiting for these front 5 to maybe make moves or something. He's just kind of just outside the pack. Maybe trying to get off the dirty air. Trying to keep that nose clean. He has Joey Trickle running hard in 7th though. And they have Jake Galloway 8th. Trey Rainey, Galloway's teammate, 9th. And Yepez rounds out the top 10. On back here we have the front 16 that pulled away. They have Wong in 17th. And they have some others like Code Luigi, Jonathan Beeford, Alexander Rowe here. That's about 18th on back. We're kind of caught behind the 9 of Justin Nick into the wall a little bit. And these front 5 definitely in a big pack here. It's really the front 16, 17 that pulled away. They are in a tight pack. As Gardner looks like he just got put up high by Joey Trickle in the 25. Trickle looking to the inside, gets back up in line. Couldn't make that move work. We'll get single file out. So single file at the front here at Darlington. Definitely does not mean there will not be any passes later on in the race, though. We'll definitely start seeing some passes happening later on in the race. When the tires get worn out, it's easier to pass then. And still Miller running 41st, and Lawrence Pound might have something wrong with that car running 42nd and falling off. Like, see, Gardner might be just a little bit slower than the cars behind, and I think he's kind of holding up 7th on back, allowing the front 5 to get away just a little bit, get a little bit of breathing room. Luke Ray can try different lines now, knowing that the A9 can't take advantage and get to the inside. If the 22 maybe slips up and goes a little bit higher than he wanted to. Bone's just doing a great job, though, out front. He's protecting the lane. He's not making any mistakes. It's very easy to make a mistake and get into the wall here at Darlington with how close you run to the corners. Back there for 3rd. Hamill got a little tight off the corner. Seaman looks low, but couldn't make it done. And here comes Larker again, looking low into turn 1. He's right on the bumper, looking to the inside as they come off turn 2. Couldn't get it done there. 10 laps down, 20 to go. We're a third of the way through the race. Bullen has led every lap so far, but like we said, it's not over until it's over. Not over until that checkered flag waves. Last season we saw Joe Sandro dominate this race, but lose it because he got high and into the wall. He fell back to about 20th when all was said and done. So Bullen can't give it to him just yet. One small mistake and he's out of the running. Larker once again, great run through 1 and 2. And you can see how much the tires have worn off. Already 3/10 slower. Larker is in his fastest lap. The 74 is only running about 1/10 to 2/10 slower. But still affecting. And he really pulled away from Larker that time. 51 did not get off turn number 4. And that Hamill's right there in the 8. And then for 4th, Seaman and Luke Rainey are nose to tail. Seaman trying to fend off Rainey. Rainey just wants more points. Because he's in the running for the chase. He's not as safe as Seaman is at this point. Seaman's pretty safe. He's not definitely safe, but he's pretty safe. Luke Rainey, he can't say he's safe at all. He needs to just go hard. He has to get top 5s, top 10s. For the rest of these races for the chase. He wants to make the Target Series chase badly. He's in the running to do it. He just needs some great finishes. Right here, 5th place, definitely what he needs, but he has to hold it there. So there's still 17 laps to go. He's looking low for 4th. Can he keep it below that 00 is the question. Down the backstretch. Trying to keep it down there, but gets back up in line. Gardner in the A9 with a huge run because the 22 got a little tight there. 16 laps to go this time. There's battles, but no one able to make passes. Very hard to make passes here at the tight Darlington. Seaman might be holding off Luke Rainey a little bit there, and Rainey wants by. Larker once again peeking low on Bullen. And that 74 team, they've been great all season. Just the last few races have not been their cup of tea. They've been falling in points because of these last few races, and missing a win at Pocono is definitely what maybe caused some of the momentum lost. They lost it late in the race at Pocono. I think they had it late in the race at Pocono. Jay Justin won around the 28. So Bullen obviously wants a great finish here, or even a win, to regain that confidence and maybe try to get a shot at the chase. He still has a shot. He's just outside the top 10 points. A win would be great for that 74 team. Right now leading at halfway. He's led the most laps, so he knows he's going to get 5 bonus points for that. Back here, Jake Galloway and Trey Rainey, 2 teammates for 8th and 9th. Rainey in the 18 car will move to 8th. Galloway back to 9th, possibly further. Once again, all over the back bumper. Steve Larker is there. It looks like the 51 is just a little bit faster, but can't make the pass at this point in time. 14 laps to go. The tires might just have to wear a little bit more to make a pass work. Down the back. Let's see where the 19 at Galloway went. The 18 went by, and everyone's going on by. Galloway still fading outside. He'll go outside the top 10. As meanwhile, no real moves have been made through this pack. Everyone just kind of mind their piece. You can see right here the 42 a little bit off, so maybe he got into the wall a little bit there. There's 2 teammates running with each other. There's a large separation. I put the 44 guy into the wall. There's the 52. He decades some spots there. 39 just behind him. So once again, they're running nose to tail at the back of the field. Coming around, 12 laps to go. It's been the same front five ever since about lap 2 or 3. It's been Bullen, Larker, Hamill, Seaman, and Luke Rainey as the front five for most of this race. And now 12 laps to go. Larker looking for a way around Bullen. Once again, looking low, but gets a little tight in that dirty air. And that 51 is fast, and if he can find the right place to make the move, he will go right on by Bullen and probably pull away. I just don't see anyone else. If that 51 gets up front, I don't see anyone else being that fast, able to challenge. But the 18 looks pretty fast right now. Trey Rainey may have conserved his tires a little bit. He was moving up there. He was trying to get by the 25 Joey Trickle, but got a little tight. But the 18 car, he can try and bust his way inside the top 7. Once again, Larker, this time a better run. Trying to get beside Bullen to keep it there. Down the back. 74 did not get a great turn, too. Steve Larker in the 51 beside William Bullen in the 74. Trying to clear down the front stretch. New race there. Steve Larker leads with 10 laps remaining. Bullen falls to second and possibly more. Matt Hamill moves to second. Seaman for third. Luke Rainey to fourth. Johnny Gardner moves to fifth. And Bullen still fading back to sixth. Back to seventh. He might fall outside the top 10. William Bullen has dominated this race, and much like the fashion Jose George had last season, he's going to start fading here late in this race. Bullen trying to now hang on to just a solid finish. Just a decent finish would be anything for Bullen now. He's still battling just side by side, trying to keep 7th. Trey Rainey will go by. Bullen back to 8th. Yepes puts the 74 back to 9th. The 23 will move the 74 back to the back of the top 10 and 10th. But now, coming to 8 to go, Larker and Hamill are running nose to tail. And William Seaman is there in 3rd. Luke Rainey 4th. Gardner up to 5th now. 8 laps left at Darlington. And the 74 is still fading further back. But Matt Hamill waiting for the perfect opportunity. He wants what the 51 did to the 74. He wants to do that same thing to this 51 car. Hamill won earlier in the season at Auto Club. We'll get back to victory lane here at Darlington. Two very different tracks, but Hamill's showing that he's a wheelman right now. Trying to get by Steve Larker. Time's running out, 7 laps to go. I think the 74 finally found his spot in line, 13th. And now he can only fight to try and get back up inside the top 10 at the end of this day. Seaman has pulled away in 3rd, kind of in the world of his own. Now Luke Rainey in 4th is backing up to the A9 of Johnny Gardner. And I saw back here 2 teammates, Adam McDowell 10th, Greg Lee in 11th. Running nose to tail, so Roush Sherman Racing not having a bad day. Hamill peaked low, couldn't get the run. 6 laps left this time. He's looking low, entering 1, trying to fake that 51 out. We've seen some incidents happening going into turn 1 when a car's down low like that. Drives into the corner, gets into the side of the other one, trying to come down and protect the spot. And we've seen some contact there in that part of the racetrack. This is a big lap for Steve Larker. He wants to see this 5 laps to go. He's going to. 5 laps left at Darlington. If the yellow were to come out, the race would be official. 5 laps left in the Southern 300. Steve Larker, Matt Hamill will run 1-2. William Seaman has joined the fight in 3rd. And the Bowser 4th on back. Luke Rainey and Johnny Gardner 4th and 5th. Trickle 6th. Trey Rainey 7th. Yepes is 8th. Stephen Baker 9th. And McDowell rounds out the top 10. Bullen, who's dominated this race, is just riding around 13th, trying to finish it in a solid position for points. And these front 3, they're not going to let it go without a fight. 4 laps left now. Hamill looking low. Does he have the run to stay down there? He can get it done. He gets back up in line in 2nd. Needs to make a move like Seaman's making. And now Luke Rainey joins back in on the fun. He's gaining on the front 3. Coming to 3 laps to go. Be about 4 miles left for Steve Larker. Hamill once again looking off of 4, but can't get the run. Looks low again. Has to get back up in line. He's trying to keep it beside. Does! Into turn 1. Hamill underneath Steve Larker. It gets by. Matt Hamill, another lead change at Darlington. Seaman through to 2nd. Luke Rainey through to 3rd. Larker back to 4th. We talked about mistakes. Joey Trickle going up the track. Larker from the race lead back to 4th. And now Matt Hamill leads coming to 2 to go. And the 51 fights back on the 22. That's for 3rd. 2 cars pull away with 2 to go. The battles for 3rd. Larker gets it back over Luke Rainey. Rainey might fall outside the top 5. Gardner to 4th. Trey Rainey to 5th. And Luke Rainey back to 6th. Can he get down front? Yepes, so he doesn't fall like Bullen did. He gets back down in line in the 6th position, but Luke Rainey loses some spots there. To the white flag. Matt Hamill leads Seaman. Can the 00 get by the 8? Last lap is out. 1 lap to go, Darlington. Matt Hamill ran top 5 all day. And then when Larker got around the 74 Bullen, it put the 8 in 2nd. And Matt Hamill pressuring Steve Larker, and the pressure got too much. Larker snapped, went up high. Matt Hamill takes the race lead. And through 3 and 4, he leads Seaman by enough to where he could just back it down. Seaman trying hard as they come off the corner. It's going to be Matt Hamill to victory lane at Darlington. He wins the Southern 300. Great race for Matt Hamill. He stayed up there, stayed in the fight. Got by the 51 at the end. Matt Hamill wins in the Southern 300. Let's go check the finishing results. Here are the finishing results from the Southern 300 at Darlington. There were no caution flags. There were 2 lead changes among 3 different drivers. Matt Hamill led the final 3 laps to get to victory lane over William Seaman, who fought hard. If he had 1 more lap, maybe 2 more laps, it could have been a different story. Seaman ends up 2nd. Steve Larker led 8 laps. He ends up 3rd. Johnny Gardner 4th and Trey Rainey 5th. They have Luke Rainey in 6th. Diego Yepes 7th. Joey Trickle 8th. Stephen Baker 9th. And Matt McDowell rounds out the top 10. There's your top 20. You have to feel for William Bullen, who started on pole, led the first 19 laps, but once he got trapped up high, he could not find a hold down line inside the top 10. He falls back to finish 13th. A decent day, but what could have been if he could have kept it down on the bottom lane. 21st to 40th. See some drivers that faded at the end after getting into the wall and whatnot. And you see how your top points contenders did. Andrew Miller came into the day. Points leader, he ends up 35th. Lawrence Palampon, 7 points back in 2nd, ends up 37th. Look down at the rest. Cole Luigi, I think, getting into the wall really hurt his car. He fell back at the end and finished last. Jeffrey Buford, 41st. Let's now go look at points. 2 races left until we get to the chase, and here are the points standings. William Seaman takes the points lead over by 28 points over Andrew Miller, who falls to 2nd. Lawrence Palampon back to 3rd, tied with Danny Lloyd, who's currently 4th, and Land Lyons rounds out the top 5. Then 6th, you have Johnny Gardner, Luke Rainey 7th, Clayton Thomas 8th, Joey Trickle 9th, and Stephen Baker rounds out the top 10. There's your top 20. It's getting close, as the front 4 are pretty safe. They have 160 points on 5th, 4th place does. So I think the front 4 are safe to get into the chase. Now, 5th on back, it could be a different story. 5th place has a 50-point lead over 11th in points. That is the cutoff. 10th place is the final spot to make the chase without wins. Now, with wins, you have to be one of the wild cards. And your 2 wild cards, Adam McDowell with 2 wins, and Matt Hamill with his 2nd victory of the season moves up to 16th with 2 wins. Sebastian Kukulon is only 15 points out with a win in 11th. Jake Jefferson has a win. He's 17th. So he would need the 16 or the 8 to get up inside the top 10. He needs to get another win this season, or he has to hope that one of them falls outside the top 20 in points, and hope that the 20 also gets in with his win. Down 21st to 40th. Gustavo Rocha still looking. 21st. Jonathan Wong, 24th. Max Harrison, Justin Knight. They still have shots. Jeffrey Buford, Isaac Nichols, Jake Galloway, Alex Stewart. I think their shots are done at making the chase for this season. Same with TJ Henley in the 44. 2 races left until we get to the chase for the Target Series. We head to Indianapolis Motor Speedway for the Indiana 250. I'll see you guys then.